You've kind of wanted a loud gym, right? Really loud, really juiced up gym. When you've got guys that kind of say like, okay, we're flat, is that surprising? Is that alarming to you? Just kind of how do you respond to that?
Yeah, a little bit. Especially, I thought the last couple of days of practice, our guys, I thought they really learned from some of the things that happened in our last game. I thought they responded really well in practice from an energy level. Here's some of the things we got to fix. And it wasn't. They were playing hard tonight. It just wasn't the same juice. And again, part of it, maybe when the offense isn't flowing, they got to learn how to fight through that. It's all things early in the year that as you're getting going, you learn how to win games in a lot of different ways, and that's an important thing to have and a quality to have. And I thought they did a nice job tonight defensively again in the first half, holding them to 17%. That's back-to-back games in the first half. Our defense was really good. The start of the second halves in both these games, it wasn't quite as good, but I did think our defense again was what changed the game around in the second half. So we were able to get that lead pushed back out, and a lot of that was because our defensive intensity just picked up.
Did you see a difference in maybe the talking about the defense in the response to some of the offensive malaise that kind of hit and then it drifted away? But basically, did you see your team play through that defensively without seeing shots go in maybe a little bit better tonight?
I think for the most part, yeah. There were still a couple stretches, where we had some empty possessions that maybe. We're at our best when we're able to get into the ball and apply pressure and disrupt. And I thought in the middle of the second half, or whatever, 15, 14 minutes to go there, I thought the lineup change came in and they did a really nice job of coming in and picking up full and disrupting their catches on the wings. And then our 4s and 5s and Sam was great really all night. I thought he just had a really good game and was a big factor in getting that lead pushed back up for us.
Yeah, Coach, if you would expand a little on Sam Alexis and just sort of what he's bringing, what do you like, and sort of what are his opportunities here as you get further in the season?
Yeah, I love what Sam's doing. He's bringing that the physicality, but even more so is the rebounding, the energy level, the enthusiasm. I just like what he's doing for us right now, and he's going to play a huge role for us all year, like he already is. But I just like what he's doing. I think he's getting better and better every day too. He's getting more and more comfortable on the offensive end, the defensive end. He's really doing a nice job of coming in and cleaning up, from the backside. I think he had 4 blocks again today. So that's that type of rim protection we're going to need from him, and he's doing a great job with it.
Yeah, well, Lamar, he kind of breathed a sigh of relief after he hit the last one, a couple off shooting nights. What do you tell him, or do you just let, like you said, shoot or shoot? You kind of let him go through it and just kind of shoot through it?
Yeah, I mean, if he was 4 for 17 tonight, that means there's an 11 for 17 coming soon. So he's, he can let him rip whenever he wants. It's like we've always tell our guys, like basketball's basketball. You have. The best players in the world have off nights, and he had an off shooting night. That means we got a good one coming. So it's always about let's make sure we got the win even on those nights. So he's gonna have plenty of good nights too.
With the offense, it looked like they were switching a lot on the perimeter. Did you like what you were able to figure out against that and the adjustments that you were able to make?
Yeah, I thought we were able to get a few things there that were better. We got some backdoor opportunities, got some layups. So I thought there were some good things there. Again, that's something we're putting a lot more time into because it's not how we play defense. So, what we've done all summer and fall, even though we worked on it at times, it's not when we go against each other, we're working on ourselves. So that's something that, these last couple of days, I thought we did a really good job in our practices the last couple of days of really exploiting some of that switching. It didn't have maybe as good of carryover as we would have liked, but something I know that we'll continue to get better and better at as we see it more.
When you go back to the drawing board, I guess, well, on one hand, how do you address the concerns of, team coming out flat, but also, like, on the other hand, how important is it for your team to learn how to win games at this time of year when you are maybe a little flatter than you'd like?
Yeah. I don't even, we talked about a little bit of that energy and stuff. I mean, we came out and we were up 12-2 or whatever. So they came out, out of to start the game in a pretty good space. It didn't keep going. That was more of the issue. And then we didn't get the normal, like just the 6-0, 8-0 runs. It was a little choppy and stuff. But I think that's just learning as a group. When the offense isn't going, just to really embrace the defensive side and let that be our identity and let that be where your enthusiasm comes from. And and they did a good job with it. Like I said, hold them to 17% in the first half. We'll take that on a lot of nights.
You were talking about the offensive flow kind of not being what you wanted it to be earlier. What have you seen different in the last couple games compared to the first 3 games?
A little bit how we're being guarded. Like we talked about the switching, we don't get to move it quite as easily. In some of the actions where, they're not switching, you set a pin down and now a guy comes off a screen, he's got an advantage because his guy's trailing him versus when they switch it, they're coming off and they're taking away that next pass. So now you got to get to a second action. So it just takes a little bit for us as an offense right now. That's what we're working hard at getting better at is how do we exploit that and use that to our advantage. And like I said, we'll get there. It just hasn't been very, very clean these last couple games.